Good afternoon. Now we will go in second part, shape function, that is for bar element, but with three nodes. So three noded bar element. Now the difference in these two you can see in element with two nodes. If you remember, our equation is x minus xm. So upon and xk minus xm. And in this, we have two nodes, so we have only one term. And therefore, our variation of shape function is linear. Now, in this case, you can see we have node 3. So, when we have k is equal to 1, we are going to get n1, that is x minus x2 upon x1 minus x2 and x minus x3 upon x1 minus x2. Because we know we do not have m is equal to k. So m is not equal to k. And k is 1. So we have denominator with x1 first term and numerator with x first term. Second term in numerator and denominator we have same. Now we have x1 and x1. So we have x to the power 2. So shape function is proportional to x to the power 2. So we are going to get it as parabola. So now we will go with first x1, x3, x2. Now we have to first name the primary nodes. So primary nodes we have at ends. So x1 and x2 at no ends. And we have secondary node that is in between primary nodes. So we have x3 here. So now we will go with at node 1 x equal to x1 and then n1 becomes 1. Now you can see I will put x equal to x1. So what I will get? So I will get it as x1 minus x2, and then I have upon, we have same x1 minus x2, and second term also we have same x1 minus x3 upon x1 minus x3, and then we have this value is 1 because we have numerator denominator same. So I can write it as shape function at 1, shape function of 1 at node 1. Then we will go second. So we will plot it. Now we will go with second. That is shape function of 1 at node 2. So we have to put value of which we have taken over here. So we have taken at 3. So we will go shape function of 1 at node 3. So we have x equal to x3. So we have x3 minus x2 upon x1 minus x2. Denominator remains same. Change is only x we have to replace by x3 and here it becomes 0. So we have x1 minus x3. This term becomes 0. So automatically my value of n1 becomes 0. So I can write it as a n1 at node 1, n1 at node 3. Now n at node 2. So I have n1 to x equal to x2. Then I have x2 minus x2 becomes 0. I need not require to write other terms also, which will be x2 minus x3. But as first term becomes 0, so automatically we are going to get all terms that will be multiplying, so it becomes 0. And therefore we have this term is 0. So we have at node 2 also value is 0. So node shape function of 1 at node 2, 0. And then we will plot. So we have this value. Now why this value is plus? So now we will go for denominator value. So denominator terms we have x minus x2 and then we have x1 minus x3. Now you see x1 minus x2, my value of x1, this is less than x2 and value of x1 is also less than x3. So I will get this as minus value. I will get this as minus value. So we will get minus minus plus. So my denominator that is plus. Now we will go first. That is with value in between x1 and x3. So between x1 and x3 we have value that is, I will mention x4. And if I will put over here, what I will get now, we will talk about numerator only. So we have x4 minus x2, and then we have x4 minus x3. Now see x4 minus x2. Now which value is greater? So we have x2 greater. So we have this value is minus. Now x4 minus x3. So again x3 is greater. So we are going to get this minus. And therefore we will get this value plus. So this is between x1 to x3. Between x1 to x3. Now go for some value that is in between x3 to x2, which is x5. Then I will get it as x5 minus x2. So x5 minus x2 and x5 minus x3. Now we have x2 is greater than x5. So we have this value minus. But x5, this is greater than x3 because x5 is here, x3 is here. So x5 is greater, so I will have this value plus. And therefore I will get minus plus. So this will be minus between 3 to 2. Between x3 to x2. And therefore we have value over here minus and value over here we have plus. Similarly in other cases also, so we have this variation of values. So now we are, for here also we are in the same fashion, x minus x1 upon x2 minus x1, x minus x3 upon x2 minus x3. So you have to keep in mind whatever first term is in denominator, that term is not in numerator. And second terms we have said. And then we are going to plot in the same fashion. At a node 1, x equal to x1. So we have n2 shape function at 2 at node 1 is 0. Then I will write shape function at node 2 of node 2 at 3 is 0. And then we have this will be 1. You can write it as 2, 2. So always keep in mind value of shape function at that node is always 1. And then again we have x1 to x3 we have values as minus. And x3 to x2 we are values as plus. Now you can go if I will write equation. So if I will say at node 1 x1 is 0, so x1 minus x1 it becomes 0. Then at node 3 if I will put x as x3, so second term becomes 0. And therefore at 2 we have x2 minus x1 same denominator, x2 minus x3 same, and therefore this value we are going to get as 1. And then here we have minus, here we have plus, that you can see. Then we have variation of n2. Then we have third, that is when k is 3, then we have value in this fashion. Now you can see this. Again we have at 1 0 and 3 at 1 0. So we have 3 3 is 1 only. So 3 1 0, we have 3 3 1. And then we have 3 2 0. So when we have these two numbers are same, then only value 1. Otherwise, I have these values as 0. So now we have value plus and minus. Now you can see we have x3 minus x1. Which one is greater? So in this case, we have x3 is greater than x1. So we have plus. X3 minus x2. So we have this value x2 greater than x3. So we have minus. So denominator I will mention. So denominator first term I got it as x3 minus x1. x3 is greater. So first value plus and second value minus. So plus minus. So now we will go with value in between. So I will mention it 4. So we have x4 minus x1. So you can see x4 minus x1. And then we have x4 minus x2. Now you can see x4, this is greater than x1. So I have this value plus. Then x4 less than x2. So I have minus. So I will get numerator minus. I will get denominator also minus. So we will get it as plus. Now if I will have this as x5. Now my denominator remains same. No change in the denominator because it is independent of value of x. Then I have this as x5 minus x1. Then I have x5 minus x2. Now you can see what will happen. X5 minus X1. X5 is greater than X1. So I have this again plus. X5 minus X2. X2 is greater. So I will have this as minus. Below we have plus minus. And therefore we have again value as plus. So in both, that is X1 to X3 plus. And again we have X3 to X2. We have plus. So in both we have this value as plus. And therefore we are going to get this value in this fashion. So likewise, we have to go to plot variation of N3. So in this way, we have to plot the values of variation of shape functions at different node. Now we will stop here only. Thank you. Remaining part we will see in the next video. Thank you.